Viewer discretion is advised.
But will be completely ignored.
Welcome to another new edition of the CNC Connection. I'm your host, RC, as usual. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, leave notifications, and subscribe to everything and follow us because we want to get that number live. That's what we're striving for. That's what we're working for. You know you want to be a member of the mod family, so join us. Also, don't forget to check out our merch store at www.bonfire.com/store/off-the-top-ropes and get all our amazing merch. We have t-shirts in every color that you can think of. Two different designs. We have our Subway shirt. We also have our Subway poster shirt too. Come on, you want to rock out with the designs? Cool. They're dope. They're pretty colors too. Who doesn't want it? Also, check us out on the Independent Wrestling Network. It's free. All podcasts, all independent, everything you can think about for the thing. You can check us out on there. It's free, guys. No more excuses why you're not checking us out on there. Today I'm joined by my affable co-host, who also was my co-host last week, my friend KB. Hi, KB.
Hey, Queen Pin, how you doing today?
Good. How about you? How you doing today, bud?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for having me back. I must have did something right last week.
Anytime. That was fun last week. It was a blast. So let's get into our first topic of the week. AEW got a new signing in the women's division who showed up but none other than Taya Valkyrie, who came out after Jade had a squash match on Dynamite and got right into Jade's face. This is going to be an exciting new feud for Jade, someone that's actual competition, an actual threat to the title, and an actual challenger. So our main question out of this is, what's the plan for Taya and AEW? KB, what are your thoughts here, bud?
You know, Queen Pin, this feels so familiar. I feel like somebody said this last week. I just can't put my finger on it. Oh, that's right, you did. Last week on this show, we did say that Taya Valkyrie would show up. Granted, we did say that she would accept Jade's open challenge. It didn't happen quite like that, but Taya Valkyrie is all elite. So we was off just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but I mean, it's exciting to see because the battle of the two people with the same finishers. But sorry, guys, Taya had it first, so let's give her the credit.
Far be it for me to say that we told you so, but we told you so. The plan for Taya.
Everyone says that Chris Statlander should be the one to dethrone her, but come on, I mean, you have Taya just debut on the roster. She's gonna be a main threat to Jade.
Oh God,
I think put the title on her. I mean, we need a fresh face in that women's division who can help carry the women's division.
Oh, absolutely. And I know a lot of people want Statlander to dethrone Jade. But, I mean, do we even know how long Statlander's going to be out for? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Can we really see us waiting another 3 to 4 months for Jade to lose that championship?
No, I've been saying it for a while now. Like, if we knew she was coming back soon, then fine, you can go ahead and get away with that. But we don't know that. And you can't keep waiting months and months and months just to build Jade's record up to like 70, 80-0 without her losing that title.
I think what needs to be done, because we have Taya in AEW now that she's signed, sealed, and delivered, I think Double or Nothing, Jade, Taya. Let Taya be the one to take it off of Jade. Then you can move Jade on to the title that she really wants.
Yes.
Move her on to the Women's World Championship. Let Taya be the centerpiece of the TBS Championship for a little while. She can have some great matches with a lot of women in that company over that TBS Championship. Plus, it can bring a level of relevancy to that TBS Championship that honestly that championship sorely needs right now.
It really does, because if you look at most of Jade's matches, yeah, she's getting better and everything, but you can still tell she's like a little bit green and everything. And the level of competition is just like Jade every week. Match, squash match, squash match, squash match, squash match. We need to see some actual challengers like Sky Blues and Willows and stuff stepping up to the bat against Taya, where you get like competitive, 10, 15-minute matches every single week with that title instead of having squashes, because no one gets to showcase any of their offense during Jade's title reign. So
The best match Jade has had with that TBS Championship was against Athena.
yeah.
And I think it's time. It's time. Jay needs to move on from that championship. You've done all you can do. You've held that championship for 400 something days.
Yeah.
It's time to move on from that championship. Go after the women's world championship. I don't know about you. I would love to see Jay versus Jamie somewhere down the line with that championship.
Absolutely. I mean, and who
And
knows exactly, with this whole storyline that's going on with the outsiders and anything, how she could play a factor into that. But you
that's
never know.
that's another thing. Taya Valkyrie versus Tony Storm over the TBS championship. Taya versus Ruby.
Oh.
Really want to Taya versus Saraya if you really want to.
Yeah, you have, like I was saying, when Taya Kate debuted and everything. Think about all the challenges like that you can get that are going to be newer and fresher and more exciting. And everyone's like,
Absolutely.
no, you have to wait for Chris. But listen, guys, Taya has years and years of experience. Like, she's held championships in AAA. She's held championships in MLW, in Impact, all across the world. So, I mean, she can go in the ring. If you guys, and there's no excuses anymore to why you guys say, who is she? Where is she? Go look it up. Like, I'm sick of the tired of this. Where is she from? Oh, I haven't seen her. She's not relevant. Go look up
Then
her
if
stuff.
you then
Because
if
it's
you
out there.
then when Statlander comes back, think about Statlander versus Taya.
That could be a good matchup.
I'm loving that.
Taya versus Sky Blue, Bobby says.
Thank you, Bobby Boucher. Good one. Personally,
Anybody on women's division could benefit from working with her so much.
when you think about it, though, Queen Pin, the AEW women's division looks a lot more balanced now. If you look at it, it looks
It
a lot
does.
more full now.
It
Because
does.
think
We were
about
having
it,
this
you got,
discussion at home. We were having
mhm,
this discussion like just this past week at home about the signing of Taya, and it's like this signing is got to be one of the best signings in the history of the AEW women's division, because I mean, now you have that star power, you have the leadership, the veteran experience and everything. This
absolutely.
is nothing but a good sign for the women's division. So if you're like, their women's division is weak, this just elevated their women's division right up there. So I mean,
Absolutely. Look at that women's division. You have Jamie at the forefront. You got Britt Baker. You got Saraya. You got Tony Storm. You got Ruby Soho. You got Jade Cargill. You added Ataya Valkyrie now. You have Riho. You have Sheeta. You
Athena,
have
you have
Athena, Willow,
up and comers like Willow and Sky
Sky
Blue
Blue.
and Julia Hart and
Don't forget about the JAS girls. You have Anna
Anna
J and
and
Hikaru
Kai.
Conti. Personally,
Definitely.
I don't feel that way about Ty's husband, but I'll digress on that. That's another story for another day.
Same, you're not alone in that feeling with her husband, but I digress.
Ty can wrestle, but Ty can actually wrestle.
She can.
Well, point is, the AEW Women's Division, give it a little bit more time, maybe one or two more signings here and there. AEW Women's Division gonna be right up there. I'm not gonna say with WWE, but they'll be right up there with Impacts.
Yeah. It's like, holy moly. So, like, Taya Valkyrie versus Layla Gray. That could easily be a match, too, especially with the fact that she's going after Jade and Layla is one of her associates. So,
And
Taya versus Statlander.
that's the TBS. That's the TBS championship match. And I'm glad he brought it up. If you put that championship on Taya, you think about going into All Out, which will probably be in Chicago again. Taya versus Statlander over that championship. Come on, I would pay. I would buy a ticket for that just for that match alone.
Who
And I don't
wouldn't,
buy
man? That would
tickets.
be one hell of a match. Like I think I can't even remember the women's match I seen it. The thing was, oh yeah, it was Jade and Athena All Out last year, and I was like, said you're right on the money.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And as far as Jade goes, I mean, now you got my mind working now, Queen Pin. If we did it, if that was for All Out, you have Taya versus Statlander over the TBS Championship, Jade versus Jamie over the World Championship. Those are two women's matches that a lot of fans can sink their teeth into.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
We begin spoil over here in Chicago for these pay-per-views, these cards. Like,
Hashtag Chicago gets everything. Just saying.
except for Forbidden Door this year, which is going to Toronto. But
Shit.
later.
Old Canada, our home and native land.
Oh my gosh! Like we've been saying, guys, the women's division's on the rise now in AEW. You can't like sugarcoat it. You can't like hide it behind anything now. Like they're going to be considered one of the top women's divisions in the roster.
Absolutely! I give it about another year and a half. Another year, they'll be considered one of the top in the world. Especially when we get to the subject of Forbidden Door, which I am waiting on.
Well, I'm looking forward to that conversation because there's like a story that came out today about something for Forbidden Door, and I'm like, ooh, we get into that topic. Something, but
yes, ma'am.
But yeah. So, what are you guys' thoughts? And
yes,
you think Taya dethrones her, guys, or do you think Jade holds on to it a bit longer?
Give us your opinion. Y'all tell me your opinions every day on Twitter Spaces. Start giving me your opinion now. This is one of those times I'm actually interested in your opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I truly think with Taya, certain people. Don't forget, there's somebody else coming in. One of my brother's favorites. Legit, Layla Hirsch will be back soon.
Oh, I miss her. TBS title or bust. Yeah, definitely.
You don't sign somebody like Taya just to have her lose to Jade, and that's the point I was trying to make since Wednesday. You don't sign somebody like Taya just to have her be food to Jade.
No, but it's great for the women's division because you're right, KB. I've been hearing people say, "Oh, have Taya put Jade over his shoulder." I'm like, no, you don't keep
53-0. What more do you need to do?
I'm like, you can't keep doing this to everyone that comes into the roster and saying, "Here, Jade, here's your new challenger." Just like we're gonna feed you to her, and yeah, it'll be a competitive match, but let's just keep padding Jade's statistics. Eventually, you're gonna have to start bringing these new talents that you keep bringing in over. Okay. So.
There is such a thing as a good loss. Jade can suffer her first loss to somebody credible like Taya. Now, if her first loss was to a complete unknown, okay, I can understand where somebody's coming from. But this is for a legit woman.
Yeah, she has.
And I did some research. Do you know Taya Backward held the Reina de Reinas Women's Championship and the Impact Women's Championship and the MLW Women's Championship all at the same time? Mm-hmm. She held damn every women's championship on the Indies at the same time.
And before she came over to AEW, she was like part of the Impact Women's Tag Team Champions, and she was the MLW Featherweight Women's Champion over in MLW too. So
Jay losing to somebody credible like that? Come on now.
And like what you're saying at the bottom here, Jade equals Roman Reigns, and he also said Jade has overstayed her welcome in that division. She needs to move on up or something.
Exactly, it's time. And Jade will look great with that AEW Women's World Championship around her waist.
Someone says it feels like you need to have Taya take the title from Jade. Jade's reign is incredibly underwhelming in so many ways. It is. I've been saying that for a while now. It's because I think it's the level of competition. It's like every match just feels the same. It's just like come in, wrestle, maybe 20 minutes, maybe like 2 minutes, 3-minute matches every single week. And then it's like, okay, predictable. Jade's going to win. How long is the match going to be?
And let's be honest.
Before I sentence you, I'd like to say a few words about your arrest record. What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Man, you want some too? You better wrap it up. You better wrap that gavel up, B. talking about? That's what I was telling you.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Art. Well, enough.
Oh God, no, not again.
So what are you gonna say, KB?
No, apparently, Boss Man said wrap it up, so we're gonna leave that real quick. That's all I saw. I'm getting flashbacks to last night. If you haven't watched the show last night, please go back.
Yes, go back. Oh man. But... I think we're all in agreement. Taya needs to become the new TBS champion. Jay's overstayed her welcome in the women's division. Hi, Tino, my Chicago brother. Great job last night on the show.
Yes.
But yeah,
it's all about the hard coaches, Tino.
But she needs to move on to something new because this is getting really stale and underwhelming right now.
Absolutely.
So that's what we agree on. He said Tino choked.
Tino, we're gonna have a talk after the show, man.
Oh man. But yeah. I'm so excited to see what the future of this women's division is going to be now. It's like onwards and upwards.
Absolutely. Tony Khan, can we get Josiah Williams to play her to the ring at Double or Nothing, please?
Yes, please.
Indubitably.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Why not? Oh man. But yeah. Should we get into our next topic?
Yes, please.
This whole Bray Wyatt scenario going on in WWE right now. Is it a tale? Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties here. So the reports are saying creative differences for one thing, and then it says, injury here. What the hell is going on with Bray and his character? Ever since he came back to this company, it's just been a downward spiral and everything. What is going on?
Bray Wyatt. Let's see. Bray Wyatt's gone. Vince is back. Yowie, wowie, what could it possibly be? Oh my God, the old man shows up in Gorilla and Mr. Wyndham Rotunda is gone.
Yeah, it's like, you read the reports, like, from like Sean Ross Sapp and, Dave Meltzer and everybody saying, okay, no, at one point it's like creative, it's creative differences. And that's why he was missing house shows and everything. And then you have other reports coming out saying, no, it's an undisclosed injury. But then on top of that, you have the WrestleMania match in doubt. You have Lashley tweeting about some weird things. And then you have, all this stuff going on. It's like, what is going on here?
I have my own personal thing about this. We all know Bray Wyatt does not like Vince McMahon. We know this.
No.
The old man doesn't. He never saw Bray for what he truly could be. Don't you find it just a little ironic that Vince McMahon magically shows up with his porn star mustache, supposedly going to see John Cena, and then Bray just magically disappears?
It's really weird. Like I was saying, like this whole everyone was talking about, the Omos Lashley matchup had like strains of all the Vince creative disgusting on it. But now, like it makes me, like I was saying, like last week and the previous weeks on the show, makes me wonder how much of a pull he's been having on this Bray Wyatt Lashley storyline too, because it's like The feud hasn't been.
It didn't make sense to me.
It didn't.
Lashley and Bray. Go ahead.
And now you're getting all these reports coming out and everything about injury here or this here, and it's like makes me wonder, like, is it really an injury or is there really something going on creatively? Because Bray hasn't been the same since he came back at all.
Bray Wyatt came back at Extreme Rules with all the fanfare, with everyone so happy, so excited, and I thought he had creative control, and I thought that was one of the things that Paul Levesque and him negotiated on was his creative control over his character.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to me like as the months progress, with Vince back in charge, it seems like that whole creative control that Bray had was just slipping away from him.
That's the word that I've been saying too. This whole build between Lashley and Bray, it's been lackluster at best. Like,
it doesn't make sense. I mean, they have no history to get from. There's no past history between Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley.
No, and they're not building anything at all. They do like one stupid video package for their whole feud, and it's like, what is going on? Like, it's like
you brought back the Firefly Funhouse, all the other good stuff. For what reason?
It's just there's stuff. Ever since this feud has started, it's just like there's so much stuff with it that's he has a part in.
Yes.
It's not. It hasn't been very good at all. Like I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, what is going on? Like, they don't have any chemistry together. Like, just can't escape the thought that there's something more going on with Bray. Plus, I never believe a word coming from Sap.
I mean, Sap is a reliable source. He is the Woj of professional wrestling.
Yeah. But the first half of his right though just can't escape the thought that there's something more going on with Bray. Maybe he's taking a break
before WrestleMania, before the biggest payday of the year.
That doesn't seem right at all.
Something in the water ain't clean. It's just like WWE's trying to convince us that 1 + 1 is equaling 3, when we all know it equals 2.
No, and that's what we're saying is something's not adding up here. So it's like, I don't know. Like, he comes back at Extreme Rules and then he cuts these promos, and like the first 2 promos were good, and then it's like the same promo week in, week out, and then he gets fed into a feud with LA Knight, which was awful. Like,
the acid trip match. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it the acid trip match.
It was like, what am I watching here? Like, this is utter trash. And then
did you hear there was rumors for Go ahead, Shaw.
Then they want to put him into a feud with Lashley or Brock, and then you're like, okay, this makes 0 sense whatsoever. And then
Brock would have made a little bit of sense.
But now it makes absolutely none. There has been really any build, and WrestleMania is coming up fairly quickly, and we haven't got any real build to this at all. How can you even do this? How can you do this match at WrestleMania now? I mean, it's not going to be, and if you end up pulling it off, it's not going to be good at all. Like,
it will be the bathroom break of whatever night it's on. Yeah. Nobody's invested in this match. No. I surely know I'm not. And the fact
I'm not either.
And the fact that now you can't bring Bray back. Not even we got 2 weeks before Mania. You can't bring him back now and say, "Oh, we're gonna give you your WrestleMania match now." No, you can't do that.
The weird part about it is, like, last night on SmackDown when they were doing like an LA Knight segment on the show, they're like, "Look, there's an Easter egg. There's like Bray Wyatt's logo on something." But it's in an LA Knight segment. Didn't we already do this feud and it was trash? Why would we even circle back to this feud all over again?
Oh, God, no. Oh, no. Please, God, no.
No. No. She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
I saw the picture like on Twitter, and there's like the little Bray logo on the thing behind LA Knight. I'm like, not this garbage. We need to move on from this.
How Bray Wyatt said that back in the day in the Wyatt family, he's got the whole world in his hands.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Vince is saying, "Look, I'm going to take half of your world back. Thank you very
much." I'm sorry, but this is why people who are such strong, creative-minded characters right now are never going to work in WWE. As long as Vince is in charge of the whole company, they're never going to get their shine. As
long as Vince is still in or around this company. Nobody's gonna get their shine.
No.
I'm waiting for after WrestleMania, and please, I pray that I'm wrong. That WWE's gonna say, breaking news: WWE has come to terms on the release of Bray Wyatt. We wish him the best of luck in
I
all of his
wish.
future endeavors.
I wish that honestly, I wish they would. There's like people over there that aren't even being used right. Like, and I've been like, stop signing all these new people because eventually, what we're gonna the reports that have been coming out this whole week and stuff is that they might be planning about doing more releases and stuff. And all the reports that have been talked about Vince just become more and more concerning with Bray being absent.
Gee, I wonder why that's concerning. Do we know Vince McMahon is a creative vacuum? We all know
He
this.
is. Look at anybody he's had in the company in the last like 5-6 years that had strong creative mind, had strong ideas. With Vince in charge, just got shot out the window. I was like, nope, we're not doing it. And the matches suffered, the storyline suffered, and the quality of everything went downhill because.
Just notice this for a second, though, Shaw. When Vince was in charge, Johnny Gargano begged and pleaded to stay down in NXT.
Yep.
Vince was still there and said, "Look, Johnny, we can't have you in NXT anymore. You have to go up to the main roster." No, I'll let my contract run out. I'll go home.
Mm-hmm.
If Vince was still in charge, Johnny Gargano would be either in one of three places: Impact, AEW, or New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yep. Oh yeah. But it's like with Triple H being in charge and everything, that him and his wife decide, oh, we'll go back to the main roster, and it's like, I mean, what's going on with him? What's going on with him right now? He's back in NXT, feuding with Grayson Waller, and his wife is like not doing
about
much.
To be in a tag team with Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Oh my gosh, guys! It's like no offense. No offense, guys, but you sit there, you see when we try to sit there and say we love WWE and we love to give it a shot. Why some of us are like, this is why it's kind of like pushing us a little bit away because it's nonsense like this stuff that makes absolutely no sense.
Monday Night Raw put me to sleep this past Monday. And that hasn't been that since the Vince administration.
I was sitting there in the room because I came home from work and Raw was on, and I was like watching it with my uncle, and I'm like, you know what? I was like, is it just me or is this show like legit boring? Like it's like, and he's like, no, it's like boring. It's like putting us to sleep. We had to like turn the channel a little bit, watch something else because it's like this is putting us.
Like I would rather watch Family Guy marathon. That's more entertaining than 3 hours of Raw.
I'm like, I can't do this.
Or watch Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, it's like I can't. It's like this is why we sit there and say we want Raw to go back to 2 hours, not 3.
And the killing part, I'm man enough to admit that I'm wrong about the whole Triple H thing. Now, Triple H, he did some good things. I will give him that. But for the most part, Raw was pretty good, isn't it? I'm thinking Road to WrestleMania. Monday Night Raw should be must-see television. Like, oh my God, I have to see where they're going on the road to WrestleMania. Outside of Roman, Cody, Sami, KO, the Usos, is there anything really redeeming about the road to WrestleMania this year? Outside of what I just mentioned?
Yeah, Christy is right. Everything involving Bray right now is so confusing. Like,
next thing,
yeah. She also said, look at Mox. He had tons of ideas, but the old part shut them down.
What are you going to tell me next?
He wanted to have that killer match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32, I think, and it's like, oh, let's do this. I'll take all the bumps. I'll take all the brutal beatings, just like make it look, really good and everything. He doesn't have to take any of the. And it's like, no, we'll just do a plain old match, and it turned out.
I'm gonna laugh if after WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt just shows up with a whole new character. I'm like, this is why you know.
But he's right. Boss Man was right. Raw really needs to go back to 2 hours because this 3 hours is like roadkill.
It's not going to happen. Or they keep getting money from NBC Universal. They're not going back to 2 hours.
But you know what sucks? Look at all the wrestling programs you have on during the week. You have at Raw, which is 3. You have NXT at 2. You have Dynamite at 2. You have
Impact.
Impact at 2. You have ROH at 2. You have SmackDown at 2. All these shows are 2 or 3 hours, and you have like 2 or 3 hours of programming, and you have Raw 3, and it's like mediocre, like garbage stuff. Like, what is going on here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Raw at 2 hours is still too long. my uncle gave me a note. He's like, Raw at 2 hours is still too long.
I can't do this. I mean, Monday
Because they're
Night
not
Raw.
telling any stories there. It's like, ooh.
Exactly, and I'm starting to notice though, Sean, on Monday Night Raw, they're giving us rematches again. Because I
Oh yeah.
have seen Carmella and Bianca, and I've seen Chelsea Green and Bianca at least 3 to 4 times in the past 6 weeks. I'm like,
And guess what? Next week on Raw, guess what? We're getting Carmella and Chelsea Green against Bianca and Asuka in a tag match.
excuse me. Why do you hate me, God?
I was like, when you brought that up, I was like, oh, that's right. They announced a tag match between those 4.
So we're getting a combination of 2 matches in one tag match. Gee, where have I seen this?
Yeah.
Gee, where have I seen that before? Oh, the Vince administration.
Oh my gosh. It's the same stuff. It's because Courtney's right. It's because Vince is back in creative. Love you, girl. Yeah, she's right. Vince has to be back in creative. There's no like, oh, he's not doing anything. It's bullshit. Like you can't even.
And now we got. I'm gonna say this one last thing before we get the wrap it up thing. We don't have Otis anymore. We have O.T.T.R.
Oh,
and the Maximum Male Models.
Oh, that's just cringe.
Is this nigga serious?
Head hurt. And going back to what the hell were they doing with the whole Asuka Bianca segment on Raw? That was cringe too. After the match with the whole dancing with the title and doing all this stuff too.
Do you notice that too? When was the last time Asuka started dancing? Think about it.
I was like, this is embarrassing, and it's like taking away from the title match at Mania. It's like, what are you doing here?
I can see Vince backstage saying, "No, we can't have her be Asuka or be this new version of Kano. We need her to dance. We need Asuka to dance again."
Oh my god! Vince is ruining everything Triple H is working so hard to accomplish.
Of course he is. He did the same thing with NXT.
He's jealous of this.
Because
I've been
it's
preaching
true.
this for a while now. He's so jealous of the success that his son-in-law has gotten. You know, rebuilding NXT to what it was, and then getting WWE back on its feet. That he's like, no, yeah, it's really good now, but it's time for me to get my hands back into the fold to see if I can improve on this. And it's like, you're ruining everything. Just go away and retire.
Jefferson, shut the fuck up!
Vince, go away.
Please, just put your hands on another 40-something-year-old woman and make her sign an NDA again, man.
What? Get the f off of my goddamn screen.
I know why shit.
And remember, everyone, what's our mantra? Never again. Yes.
I know I ain't shit. Continue. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Oh man.
I'm sorry. I got you turning into a raspberry shot.
But yeah, Triple H is better than the old man, and the old man knows it. He does. That's why he has to get his creative, slimy paws on everything.
You've had it easy, sunshine.
Go away. Over.
Please go away.
We don't want you back.
Exactly. Just be like other old people. Just go enjoy being with your grandkids. Give them $1 or something. Or in your case, give them $100. I'm sure $100 to you is like $1.
Yeah, exactly. They're probably there's nothing to them. $100 is the new $1 bill to a millionaire or billionaire or which money. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Bray, run. Wyndham, run. If Vince is back, just
run. Yeah, we're gonna be heading to our commercial break soon. So guys, Go get a drink and have some fun, and come back and join us in the second half.
Peace.
Oh, wait a minute! Kevin Owens!
A.K.A. Farouk, and you're listening to Off-the-Top Rope Podcast. And if you're not, damn.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Miss Layla Gray, and you are listening to Off the Top Rope Podcast. Y'all need to check out this interview. Check out my man, because he knows how to do his damn job. So, check it out. Stay tuned.
Take my latest run-in with Batsy. It was just last night, as the entire country was tuning into its favorite talk show.
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
If so, to the crib, bring the freak to the sheets. Can't be hurt when I say you gotta leave. Told you on the other joint, I ain't no regular Pete. Blue, get 'em and flip 'em like stacking chips. And all the real ones come back with a coin to flip. And ain't no stepping out of line, cause I don't take lip. Show you how a captain get when she run her shit. When you sweet, I'll be sweeter. You don't need her, just delete her. But since you still here, might as well come complete her.
And we're back. Hopefully your breaks were good and you got your drinks and rehydration and everything in. So we're going to get into our third topic. This past week it was announced that the newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame was none other than the Great Muta. What a legendary career he has. As many of you know, he just retired this past year, and he's had one hell of a career and everything. What can you say about his career? Like the mist with his mysterious mist and the Shining Wizard and all the stuff. Like his career, legendary. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that? The whole Great Muta into the Hall of Fame. I feel it's an amazing inclusion into the Hall of Fame. Much deserved. Holy moly! What are your thoughts, KB?
Man, Muta going into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more than Muta. I mean, his influence on professional wrestling cannot be denied. I mean, so many of today's wrestlers use so many little traits that Muta used. Perfect example. Tajiri and Oscar, the first two that come off the top of my head, use the infamous green mist or just the mist period. The Shining Wizard is used so much by so many different wrestlers. Adam Cole uses the Shining Wizard. I think
Tegan Knox.
Tegan Knox still uses it. I believe that there is no other person that is more deserving than Muta. It just kind of strikes me as odd that Muta, and look at his influence. He's never stepped foot in WWE before, but he's being honored in the Hall of Fame.
That says a lot about the kind of wrestler he was throughout his entire career, that he never stepped foot one time in his entire career into a WWE ring, and the influence that he's had on this industry can't be understated. I mean, another move that we're not even mentioning that everyone does nowadays that's so infamous, it was the moonsault. Like he was one of the top innovators of the moonsault, and you see that move being used by all the top high flyers in the wrestling industry today. So
the Muta lock, that's basically what Asuka uses. She calls it Asuka, but that's the Muta lock.
Yeah. So to think of his influence over the entire world of the professional wrestling landscape is understated, whether they're in New Japan or Impact or in the independent scene or any of the major promotions. I mean, most of these major moves you see got heavily influenced by a guy like the Great Muta too.
And you think of just the men he's been in the ring with, guys like Ric Flair. He's been in the ring with guys like Dusty Rhodes, the late great Antonio Inoki.
It's a huge inductee.
I mean, come on, the man, his influence on professional wrestling. Not much. I did say sports entertainment. I said pro wrestling.
Yes,
cannot be understated.
It is great, Bobby, that they put him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, and you can't, when you talk about great matchups, one that we always talked about when it was building up to this big match that he had was his rivalry with Sting.
Oh God, yes.
I mean, it's understated. Like, holy moly, like,
and not even pro Sting. We're talking about blonde hair, flat top Sting.
Yes, not like all the black and white face paint with the black jacket and the baseball bat. This was way before then, guys.
Talking about all American boy Sting.
Yes. If you guys are more into the current inclination of wrestling, you probably know more of the Sting with the jacket and the baseball bat and the black and white face paint. But to most of us who grew up like with WCW and all that stuff back in the day, is like we know the blonde hair and the multi different colored blue and yellow and green and pink and stuff face paint.
I'm talking about Sting was WCW.
Oh, yeah. Like a pony. I'm a pony. I'm a pony.
That was pretty much all. That clip right there was pretty much all the little stingers back in the 90s.
Oh yes.
Sting was WCW's Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan came in.
Oh yeah, definitely. He is an iconic wrestler, Courtney. Like
absolutely.
Like you said, like 30, almost 40 years in the wrestling industry. Jeez, man. You see a lot of people retiring because of injuries and everything. And did you think about some of these guys who've been in there for like 30, 40 years and still were performing on a high caliber level? And it's like, wow.
I can't think of anybody that's more deserving. If you're gonna take anybody from Japan and put him in the Hall of Fame, I love the fact that it's Muta. Great job.
For everything we criticize WWE on, this is one thing we can't criticize them on.
No
one thing they finally got right. One thing they finally got right is the people they've decided this year they want to induct into the Hall of Fame. They've been money this year.
No, absolutely. Especially Mr. Booyaka Booyaka 619.
Yeah.
Even though
Like,
your son is ungrateful, I'm just saying.
oh my gosh, I just don't even want to get started on this feud either.
Respectful.
Part of me is like, just deck his ass already, please.
Forget deck his ass. Go old school and tear a switch off the tree and whoop his ass.
Right? What's he doing? He's fighting. He's beating the shit out of LA Knight backstage, but you can't do that to his son.
I understand that your son, but he's a grown man. Hell, treat him like a grown man.
Exactly. Don't be like, oh, well, no. Like, don't talk all the shit in the ring and be like, oh, all this stuff. But, and then, like, no, I'm not fighting you. Take off the leather braided belt.
Oh, God, not the braided belt. Not the braided belt.
Ouch.
Not the braided belt. Come on, that's crueler than usual punishment.
No, I don't want to be beat with that.
I'm sorry. I'm having flashbacks. Mama, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to get those F's in my work card.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do all that.
Like, Mama, I'm
Rey
sorry.
Mysterio's son needs to wrestle on NXT. You're not getting an argument. You will not get an argument out of me on that one.
Just be like, Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sneak that girl out of my room at 2 a.m.
He says, yes, KB, the leather braided belt.
Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sneak her out of my room at 2 a.m. I was sleepwalking.
But I agree with Bobby there. I feel he welts. Oh
God. Flashback. I'm getting flashbacks, man.
Yeah. But I agree with Bobby. Dominic does need some major seasoning in NXT. Sorry, but I haven't been really impressed.
Congratulations to the great mood. And the question now is, who's going to induct him?
I don't know.
I would say Sting, but he's kind of tied up with Tony Khan's company right now.
Yeah, I wish we haven't seen him in a while, but KB full of trauma.
Yes, I was having a PTSD moment. I'm sorry.
Courtney says Dom is a damn joke. Agreed.
I can't argue with Queen Courtney on that one.
Always has to hide behind mommy. Can't fight his own battles.
I think the perfect person to induct him into the Hall of Fame, I would say Asuka. What an honor that would be for Asuka to induct Muda into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
That would be one of the biggest highlights of her career. And on top of that, she'll probably win the Raw Women's Championship that weekend. So it kind of would make sense.
That would be so sweet. That would be a very special weekend for her.
And you owe her that. And you owe her that because you took away her undefeated streak at the WrestleMania 30. You didn't think I remember that, huh?
How come we have all these?
Perfectly balanced.
Right, Oscar. Exactly.
Right.
She said.
You, girl. Oh man.
Thank you,
her right. Do her right this time. I mean, don't turn her into that gimmicky joke that we saw on Raw this past week with the dancing and the here you want the belt? No, you're not getting the belt. I'm gonna dance with you. Here you go. And like, really not. That's like childish. Like so that's stuff that little kids want to see. So
just give me ass kicking, Oscar. Just want to just go out there, beat the hell out of her opponents, kick their heads off, maybe make them tap out or pass out, and move on.
Yeah.
Right, that version of Oscar.
Wait, what's happening? No. Oh man. But yeah, what a great honor. Great job, WWE. I'm gonna give you some claps for what you did because
it's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, they get a golf clap from me.
But that's all you get for until you decide you want to quit screwing around with rematches, quit screwing around with everything, and get some good, amazing storytelling that's not involving the bloodline, KO and Sammy.
And stop being outshined by Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, in which you will be on WrestleMania weekend. Just saying.
Oh yeah. we haven't, especially Yuta and Shibata, but
She will. I'm sorry, WrestleMania. You will probably be outshined by Supercard.
Tajiri, Nakamura.
Oh, that's a good Bobby. That's a good one. That's another one that could induct Muta. I want to honor our beef for Nakamura.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. I mean,
Yeah,
after they
where
took
is
his
Shinsuke?
partner,
We'll get to that later.
after they took his partner Boogs away from him and gave him the Elias.
We'll get to.
I think I like this guy. Yeah.
Thank you. But we'll get to Nakamura and Boogs another day. I'll rant on that another day because.
Oh yeah. So you want to get into our final topic of the day?
Yes, ma'am.
It was announced this past week that AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door 2 is taking place on Sunday, June 5th in Toronto. Yes, did you hear me correctly? Here you go. So, what are the big dream matches we want to see on this card? Because there are some matches are going to be killers. I know when KB and I are thinking, like on this one, give us Max Okada now.
I'm smiling so hard right now. I'm gonna let the Queen Pin go first on this one.
What? Yes, Forbidden Door 2.
Queen Pin, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Yeah, everyone knows deep down. I have like two in particular. Definitely Moxley Okada. I have been preaching for this match for so gosh damn long now. He's faced everyone in New Japan without the exception of Okada and Zack Sabre Jr. Speaking of Zack Sabre Jr., I think I want to see Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson, which we were supposed to get last year's Forbidden Door, but due to Bryan having to pull out of that, Claudio ended up fading out as his debut. But those are the two big ones. But at a Comic-Con today, Mercedes Moné was being interviewed by Leva Bates at a Comic-Con, and she was asked about Forbidden Door, and she said, when is Forbidden Door? I have to have a phone call with Unk about this. So could we be getting a Mercedes Moné Britt Baker matchup at Forbidden Door 2? I don't know. What are your thoughts, Katie?
I'm sorry. I'm smiling so hard right now because this is a wrestling fan's dream come true.
Oh yes.
That's all Forbidden Door is. It is a wrestling fan's pretty much wet dream come to reality. Moxley Okada needs to main event that show. I don't care what anyone says. You're not going to get MJF. He's not going to be on that show. He's not defending the AEW world title. So you need a world title match. Okada, Moxley, IWGP World Championship. Thank you, Christy. Yes. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson. If ZSJ is still the TV champion, hell, I'm not gonna know that. No, that'll be too short. I don't want a 15-minute match between these two. I need a 30-minute classic. Why not Japan? I think next year they might do it in Japan. I think they're getting closer to do it in Japan.
Yeah.
But ZSJ versus Bryan Danielson, that's the match that needs to happen. That's the match that's going to be a technical masterpiece.
Yes. So we can finally figure out who is the real best technical wrestler.
Oh, absolutely. Another match that I think I need to see because I love women's wrestling when done correctly.
Yeah.
Mercedes versus Britt. That needs to happen.
He's saying he still thinks restrictions are still in place in Japan. So that's probably why we're not getting these big guys going over back and forth to Japan.
Yeah, I think we'll probably wait till next year. I think that's what Bryan wants to do before he retires. He wants to do the G1 one time. Ooh, Sheeta.
That would be a good match. I think Mercedes, because we don't know how long she's going to be wrestling for Stardom and all these promotions. I think you have to get these big matchups out of the way first. And her dream matchup for a while has been that could be a good one, Bobby. Yeah, SJ and Danielson.
Another women's match I think would be. Go ahead, Bobby.
Bobby said Taya and Kyrie.
I was gonna get to Kyrie in just a second because I got something special in mind for Kyrie. Kyrie versus Jamie for the AEW Women's
That could be a
Championship.
good one too.
That's a damn good women's match to me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And if
I know
Go
Osprey
ahead.
wants to fight Kenny Omega again, but it just
That's
depends on
the
this whole
co-main
injury.
event.
Yeah, but it depends on how bad this injury that Osprey suffered in New Japan in the New Japan Cup this week is.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. David
Hopefully,
Finlay and Dante Martin.
I think Top Flight. I would love to get Top Flight on the show. The BCC versus Bullet Club.
Could.
I like that. I like that right there.
If you don't do like them, you could do like Claudio and Yuta against two members of the Bullet Club.
You
If you
could
don't
do
do
that.
I just
David
don't want to
Finlay.
I just want to see Mox get stuck in like a 6-man tag because that was what the original plan for the original God.
That could work if you want to get Tama Tonga and Tongaloa versus Claudio and Yuta. That could
especially
work.
with the heel turn from the Blackpool Combat Club. We have to remember that. Heel BCC has to go against a top babyface.
That could work. I don't know if the top 5 matches to me that should be on the card should be 1 Mox Okada, 2 if healthy, Osprey Omega Part 2, Danielson ZSJ, and we get Mercedes versus Britt, and then we would get Kyrie versus Jamie. Those 5 matches definitely should be on the card. Everything else you can pick and choose as you please.
Yeah, guys, like I know, like I've seen people saying, "Oh no, give Danielson Okada or do MJF Okada." First of all, MJF has said many times he doesn't like New Japan. He doesn't like the style, and no, you're not gonna feed Okada. You're not gonna feed Okada to MJF and just have him, look silly. I mean, yes,
Yeah,
MJF.
you have to look at it from a logical perspective. MJF is not losing the championship until probably the earliest November of this year.
Yeah,
why would you have Okada when he lose to Okada?
Yeah, no. Then you make him look bad. Hi, Kane. Julia versus Jamie Hayter. But
Bobby, that's a good one.
Jack Perry versus Hiroshi Takahashi.
That could be for the junior heavyweight championship. I like that one more. But that really could be over the junior title.
That would be good.
I'd love to see it personally. Forbidden Door is basically, and last year I've said this and I will say it again. Forbidden Door last year was probably the best pay-per-view I have seen all year last year.
I was so grateful for Forbidden Door 2 last year. The first Forbidden Door last year, because the original plan for Moxley was him, Shooter and them against the in a 6-man against Shooter and JS, and look how funny that turned around fast. It turned out to be a blessing in disguise that Punk got hurt because we got finally got Mox his dream matchup against Tanahashi, and they killed it.
And I think Tony Khan should reward Mox one more time for everything he's done this past year too, with things I won't name any names for a certain media scrum, and Mox helped pick the ball up and kind of kept the ship afloat. Reward him by giving him Kazuchika Okada. Give him the biggest fish in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, because he's gone through everyone in New Japan. Like I said, guys, don't give me rematches. Don't say have him face this guy, have him face this guy, have him face this guy, because a lot of those matches are going to tend up to be rematches that we've seen already. We got some fresher matchups, and the only 2 names he hasn't faced yet are ZSJ and Okada. ZSJ match, I'm still looking possibly at happening. I would think maybe possibly at one of these New Japan shows coming up on the East Coast, Philadelphia, Washington, maybe. We could get one that out of the way. Then you have to pull a trigger on Mox and Okada. It's been a long time coming because he's went through everyone in New Japan right now. So reward him. Lee Moriarty versus Kushida.
That sounds like a match that would be like on the, let's say the undercard, but that would be like on 0 hour for Forbidden Door. I can see that being 0 hour Forbidden Door.
Yeah. Mox is the heart and soul of AEW. Him against Okada would be amazing. It would. Of course it would.
That's a top 10 match of the year.
Kenta and Omega.
I like that matchup. It's just I can see if Kenta is going to be part of Forbidden Door, I could see him being in the 6-man tag with Bullet Club. Honestly, I could see Kenta maybe somehow, someway, and I would love to see
Kenta
ABC.
ELP.
I would love to see Kenta and ABC and basically
I think maybe possibly
Impact Tag
Kenta ELP and Chase Owens or something. Because
I'm thinking the Impact Tag Champions. I'm thinking Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
You could do that too. It's just like don't like fit Finley. Don't fit David Finley into this because like there's been a lot of friction based on these media scrums with Finley and ELP and them.
But then here's something we're not thinking of. What about where does Jay White stand with all of this?
Exactly.
That's the biggest question mark.
Yes. And Aaron's like, oh well, the whole he left New Japan. Keyword guys, if he signs with AEW, the whole he left New Japan think it would be out the window. Like he could face anybody over there because he'd be a part of the AEW roster, so you could get those matches.
You could do Jay White versus David Finlay at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
If Jay signs with AEW, you can get that match.
Someone says Adam Cole and Kenta.
Now there's a matchup right there. That's Forbidden Door right there.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, Bebe versus Kenta. And if you wanted to, I don't know if Impact would allow this, but if they could, if it were me, and if this would happen,
I hope not.
What about Chris Bay and Ace Austin versus the Young Bucks?
Ooh, that would be good. Bobby, you're killing it with these matchups, bud. Samoa Joe versus
Bobby. I think I can top you. Bobby. What about Jeff Cobb versus Keith Lee? There's your big house matchup.
Chrissy's saying, I think Jay White will be in AEW by this time. Someone says, if Jay goes to AEW, Jay White versus David Finlay.
Me and the Boss Man on the same level on this one.
Exactly this. Because what the story they're telling guys in New Japan right now is that David Finlay's trying to be the second coming of Jay White. He wants to be the new Bullet Club leader. So a lot of people in Bullet Club right now, especially El Phantasmo, are not very happy with the way he's acting right now. So I could easily see a Jay White versus David Finlay matchup to see who is the real leader.
And you've seen some Bullet Club little tidbits of Bullet Club on AEW television. You've seen the logo pop up.
The music with Juice Robinson attacking Ricky Starks. So.
Oh God, yes. See, Christian, you with me on this one? Jeff Cobb and Keith Lee, two athletic big men going out there. Oh my God.
Man, we're gonna see, guys. We're coming up with all the good ideas here. And earlier on in the discussion, Courtney says, "How about Swerve Strickland versus Kenta?"
See, that works but it's two heel dynamics.
Yeah. But Courtney said earlier, and I would say, oh God, please don't bring his name up. She said, "What about Jackass showing back up to ROH?" No. Like, please don't ruin my ROH product. I'm having such a blast watching ROH right now. I don't want to see him.
If any former Ring of Honor champion returns, I would want to be Danielson just so I can hit the final countdown next time. We don't need Phil. Phil could stay where he's at.
Where is Kota Ibushi going to? I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out because I mean, especially with the Blackpool Combat Club storyline versus everything with the Elite, we don't know where Kenny's gonna line. Free agent / GCW. Yeah, guys, he has 2 matches coming up in like about a week or so. He's got the Bloodsport matchup against Speedball Mike Bailey, and then he's got the Joey Janela Spring Break show coming up too.
Aussie Open versus the Acclaimed. I'm cool with that. I like it personally.
That's a good combination too.
Mm-hmm. I really like that matchup right there. Damn, that's a good one. Can't say Aussie Open versus FTR because we've seen that match somewhere in the UK.
Yeah, Top Flight versus Aussie Open.
Great contrast of styles. We could also, I don't mean to spoil anything, but we could see that match on Ring of Honor television.
Could. But Top Flight's got to get past their storyline with the Kingdom first.
Understood. But I'm excited about Forbidden Door. I know everybody else is excited about it personally.
Can't come soon enough, can it? Like 2 months of like a little. a little less than 2 months away almost.
We still got Double or Nothing to get through. We still have WrestleMania season to get through. We have a lot of time.
ROH Supercard of Honor is coming up at the end of the month.
But I will say this before we get out of here: when it happens, when you hear Monday on AEW television, no matter where they are, that crowd is going to go ape shit.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, are you with me?
She's already at these press conferences saying, "Hey, when is Forbidden Door? I have to have a phone call with Unk. We know who Unk. We guys don't play around with the whole who is Unk thing. And I want to see, someone said this earlier. Do not say Unk's name is Scott D'Amore, because that would she would work well there. But no,
Respectful.
Think bigger.
When Mercedes Moné walks out on AEW television to confront Britt Baker, the wrestling world will stand still for those 2 minutes. When they have a microphone in their hand, I don't care if you're in the kitchen cooking. I don't care if you are driving home. You pull over to the side of the road and you listen to what these two women have to say, because it's going to be gold.
Money, 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 money.
Exactly. Yeah, Tony Khan is a new $1 million man. You know what Ted DiBiase used to say? Some may cost a little.
Bobby, versus who? You have Suzuki versus who?
Who on the AEW roster would want to step in the ring with Suzuki?
The only one stupid enough to would be Moxley, but we've seen that match already a lot. So.
Who's got that? Who would do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
Like I was telling Effie Dukes.
we like Dukes. We gotta go put Dukes in with Suzuki.
I know you're into the hardcore style. You wouldn't want to get into the ring with Suzuki?
Me and Suzuki, I would actually smile if Suzuki would have slapped me. And I would consider it an honor to be in the ring with him. But I don't want to die.
Okay, I can do one of these. The other one, I'm thinking I'm saving that one for Zack Sabre Jr. How about a match between Minoru Suzuki versus Claudio?
Interesting.
He says or Bryan Danielson, but I'm saving Danielson for Zack Sabre Jr.
I could top that one. And this person hasn't been on television in a while. What about Suzuki versus Miro?
Yes, please.
I'm just saying. Suzuki versus Miro would just be interesting as hell.
They're two very interesting styles.
Miro says he wants something to do.
Duke lost to Tennessee by 10.
Thank God.
Shanga versus Miro.
Oh wow. Damn, that actually works. Damn, that works. Honestly.
Claudio versus Murder Grandpa, that would be cool.
Damn, y'all really want to kill Suzuki, don't y'all?
You want to kill the BCC in general, right?
Maybe the BCC could
Bobby wanted Suzuki against Claudio or Brian. I'm surprised that it was do Suzuki versus Moxley or versus Yuta. Let's just kill the entire BCC.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Lance Archer still on the AEW roster?
Yeah. He
Suzuki,
just came back. I know he wrestled a match
I'm getting an idea. Suzuki and Archer, basically Suzuki Goon. Basically, take anyone if you want, just against anybody if you really want. Ooh, against the Guns. That would just be funny.
Or I know this is funny, guys. Please don't laugh at this idea, but everyone's saying that the BCC right now is AEW's version of Suzuki Gun. So if we have Danielson wrestling and we have Moxley wrestling, what about a Lance Archer Suzuki versus Yuta and Claudio matchup?
I love
Wheeler Yuta versus Alex Shelley.
Well, since this is Forbidden Door, and technically the Motor City Machine Guns do classify as New Japan Strong, since that does technically count, can we get the Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR?
I know there's another name out there too. A guy on New Japan, who's been throwing a challenge out to Wheeler Yuta since he pinned him in the Best of the Super Juniors and still hasn't got his match. Wheeler Yuta versus Robbie Eagles.
I like that one. Depending on who is the, and this is, I'm just throwing this out there. I love Orange Cassidy, but let's say Orange Cassidy loses the, I want to say All Atlantic. What's it called? The International Championship.
International.
What if he loses the International Championship to what's the Japanese superstar in AEW? Takeshita. What about Takeshita versus Clark Connors for the international title?
That would be interesting.
That's a sneaky good match right there.
Oh yeah.
Can't say ZSJ. Wait a minute. What about Sonata instead of Clark Connors? Sonata versus Takeshita?
Yeah, especially with Sonata leaving LIJ and joining Taichi and his group of the 5 guys.
I'm sorry, every time you say 5 guys, I think about going home.
Yeah, that was a bad idea by Taichi. Tanahashi versus Takeshita.
Oh God, yes.
Take my money, Boston.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
Yes,
by the way, Shaw.
Please, thank you very much.
By the way, Shaw.
Kick her ass. On my way.
I love Shaw's mind. I swear. Shaw, I swear, I love your mind sometimes. My God, I love your damn mind. That is insanity. I love it.
Oh yeah, that's right. The FTR guys, they already wrestled the Motor City Machine Guns in a 6-man tag against FTR at All Out last year.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
That makes me mad because that match was supposed to be FTR and Wardlow against Lethal and the Briscoes.
Rest in peace.
Are ignorant of their ignorance.
Rest in peace, Jay.
Yes. But now we are at the end of the show, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Any words of wisdom to our great viewers?
Oh man. Basically, y'all, same as always. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Get this video out there. Look for us everywhere. We are literally everywhere you listen to podcasts. Apple, we're there. We are really everywhere right now, y'all. We are the mob. We're taking over. This is what we do each and every week. Well, on personal, thank you, Shar. Thank you once again for having me this week. I'm glad how we appreciate it. Find me on the Bird app at KBBrown72. Remember, love is God, God is love. Always spread love every day that you out here. Peace and
shake, 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 shake your booty,
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yes, as everything he said is so true, guys. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, and sharing our content. That's important. It's very important, especially because we want to get to 500 first on YouTube first, and then we want to get to the #1 slot. That's like our dream too. So help us achieve both by doing everything. Share with your friends, your family members, your people that watch wrestling that don't know about us. Share it with us. We're so freaking entertaining, and it's a blast. So have them hop on the mob wagon right now and have some fun. Don't forget, and like KB said, we are everywhere, guys. Everywhere. Apple, Google, YouTube, anywhere you can find us, and podcasting in the Independent Wrestling Network too, because it's free, guys. No more excuses why you can't check us out. We're free. Thank you to all our listeners and our viewers today. Had a blast having some multiple different conversations with you guys about all our topics today. Major love to our girl Queen Courtney. We love you, girl. Can't wait to have you back on this side with us again. We miss you. We love you, and we're wishing you and your family the best. So, like he said, peace, love, spread love, not hate. Be kind to one another. Don't be mean to anyone. Just love each other, okay? Love you guys.
No, fuck that! On everything, y'all got me fucked up!
Look at
Bye bye, bitch.